Welcome to Rediscover the Verde Valley. I'm Christian Oliva del Rio, President and CEO for the Cottonwood Chamber of Commerce. And today with me again is another old friend that I like to bring onto the show, Heather Hermen from Front Burner Media. And Heather, we've known each other for quite some time.
Quite a while.
At least 8 to 10 years, at least, right?
I think so. I think 10 years. Yeah.
So you've kind of done a lot of interesting things that I'm finally able to tap into. I know we've talked about working together for a very long time, and we're finally able to.
Absolutely.
So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure.
How long have you been in the Verde Valley? What brought you here? And
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Sure.
So I've been in Sedona almost 20 years.
Right.
I live in the village of Oak Creek, and I've lived there for nearly 20 years.
Yeah.
Moved via Wyoming.
Oh, Wyoming.
But I am an Arizona native,
Right.
which I know we're a rare breed,
Right.
hard to come by.
Right. I was going to say, what brought you to the Verde Valley?
Yeah,
It's because most people weren't originally from this area.
No, I know,
so.
but I lived in southern Arizona
wow.
until I was about 12, and then my family moved to Wyoming, and then I moved back to Arizona, almost 20 years ago.
Right. So family, kids.
Yeah, I have a husband of, it'll be 17 years this year.
Congratulations.
I know,
How do
thank
you do it?
I know, well, you as well. Actually, I think that he's like my sane part, He's the one that keeps me steady and balanced. Yeah.
We need that opposite side of us, right, to
Yes.
keep us in balance and check.
Totally agree. And
Right.
then we have a son.
Right.
His name is Nicholas. He'll be 13 this year.
That's excellent.
Which is crazy, yes.
So some other involvement, you and I met through Verde Valley Leadership. But,
Yeah, that's right.
Are you engaged in other civic service? And,
Well,
what do you do?
I actually am on the school board for the Sedona School District. Most people, when I tell them that, they ask me why, and they think I'm crazy.
Right.
But it's one of those things where I think that it's hard to just be on the sidelines and constantly complain or ask for change, but not really take action.
Right.
And I think, if anything, that's what Verde Valley Leadership taught me.
Exactly.
That's where you and I served on that board together. And its vision is to inspire individuals to action.
Sure.
And I really realized that if I really wanted to see change, I had to be a part of it.
Exactly.
So I ran for school board in 2016 and am currently serving my 4-year term, and that'll be up December of 2020.
Yeah. That's excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. You do need to get involved and do these things.
Even if it's difficult.
It is,
Yep.
and it is difficult most of the time. So, but it's worth doing.
Absolutely,
for sure.
I agree.
Right. So, so tell us a little bit about Front Burner and what you do and what led you that direction.
Yeah. Well, when we met, I actually was working for the Sedona Chamber of Commerce and Tourism Bureau, and I was their director of public relations. And when I was there, I realized that there was a need in the community, but not just in this community and in the Verde Valley, but all of northern Arizona, for someone that had a lot of marketing experience and specifically destination marketing in the tourism world. So
is that your education background?
My background, my degree is in communications, so it's kind of fitting. It goes kind of hand in hand. But in Sedona, for the 20 years that I've lived there, I've worked in the tourism industry. That's kind of the bread and butter of the community.
Absolutely,
so, so it just kind of fit naturally, and I branched out, and my business is actually 8 years old now.
Right.
I've been doing this marketing and helping destinations and businesses in the tourism field.
Pretty much through VVO that you made that decision.
It gave me the courage to do it for sure, because it was one of, besides having a child, it was almost like having another child, and taking that leap and being brave enough to do it. It was certainly a scary thing.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, but 8 years later, I haven't had any regrets or looked back, and in fact, I'm really proud that I took that step. And it was because of that leadership, encouragement, and involvement that I decided, if I didn't do it, then I would always wonder what if. So now I'm living that what if.
And it's nice because it's actually kind of allowed you to spend some good quality time with your son, right?
Absolutely. And that was one of the main reasons why I wanted to do it. So not missing those school plays and honor roll assemblies and all of that, being able to go on field trips and things and be flexible. Obviously, I'm tied to a phone and a computer.
Sure.
But I can get the job done.
But that's easy to do, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the nice technology these days allows you to do those things.
That is for sure.
At least you're not sitting on a beach with a Mai Tai working. I got you here.
Well, that would be okay too, though.
Yeah, I would love that myself right now. So then, so you also have some very strong ties that is giving you exposure to the Office of Tourism and everything.
Absolutely.
So you've got some really good connections there.
Yeah,
too,
I consider all of those individuals that work down at the governor's office and the tourism office, they're all friends.
Right.
But I've traveled the world with them, and you really build a connection. And we all have the same goal in mind to promote this wonderful state that we live in and these destinations that we're passionate about.
Right. So tell us a little bit more about some of the destinations that you're connected with.
Sure.
So go ahead.
Yeah, so I work with Williams.
Right.
They're known as the Gateway to the Grand Canyon.
Sure.
I've been working with that destination for about 5 years. And same thing with Prescott. I've been working with them also.
Right.
And what it is just kind of an extension of their destination marketing and tourism reach.
Right.
And just being able to expand that without having to pay for more labor and more man hours and benefits and all of that, but be able to outsource some of it and get a bigger bang for the buck.
Right.
And now we get to include Cottonwood in that mix.
That
in
kind
Verde
of
Valley.
that's what led us to this. That having that nice center point between
Absolutely.
the two is a great tie-in, right?
Yes, for sure.
Excellent. So, how do you see that moving forward? What are some of the big things that might be coming down through, like the Office of Tourism?
Sure, yeah.
How do we make that happen?
Absolutely. I think that obviously we know that the wine industry is huge. It's a big draw for the state of Arizona.
Right.
But the Governor's Office on Tourism just announced yesterday,
Just saw
really
that,
big,
yeah.
exciting news that the governor did, obviously he accepted the budget and signed it in, but he approved their budget with an increase.
Right.
And the tourism office has decided to allocate a specific $100,000 amount just for marketing the wine industry.
Yeah, yeah.
So I've already reached out to them, asked them how we can help and be involved in that, and they're going to be having sort of a symposium this summer on what they plan to do with that extra funding.
That's excellent.
So we know that we'll be included
because
in that.
the wine industry has been fairly huge here in the Verde Valley. We're going at least into about 10 years or so, right? It's taken about that long to really get that recognition and everything. So.
Yeah, and to get the traction. And that's one thing, traveling the world, I've been to China, I've been to Canada, I've been to Europe, Australia, and when you talk about wine industry in Arizona, it's one of those things that you can see the light bulb going off over the heads of tour operators, travel agents, and journalists. It's exciting. It's something new and different, and we want to be able to capture that while we can.
Well, and wine is pretty well known globally, right?
Absolutely, and it's a completely different style than what they're used to, and to be able to experience all the things that Arizona offers, but with the award-winning wines that we have too.
Right. Well, since we're talking about wine, can we pull up the website? We started a new website, so it's it's not a new website, but we've revamped it, right? So vvwinetrail.com, right? And how are you seeing that playing a role in our marketing plan and tying into the other destinations too?
I think it has real potential to be that go-to site that we can be driving people to more. Obviously, we've got that really great map and the passport.
Right.
We can make that something a little bit more vibrant than it has been in the past. And really get people engaged with it. And instead of just being one-time visitors, that passport enables them to be repeat visitors on and on. Finding a love for wine country that in Arizona that they haven't had before.
So we're growing on that the day trippers from the Phoenix, Tucson area, right? That might be coming up. So this is also another way for us to hopefully keep them here instead of a day trip, right?
Yes, absolutely.
How do we get that word out? Do we get leads from the Office of Tourism. Can you explain that a little bit more?
We do, and we've got a lot of opportunity there. So we're actually adding in a quarterly newsletter for the Chamber of Commerce to actually reach out to those consumers who are interested in the area. Each quarter it'll be kind of themed with what's going on in the area, event driven, but then information that they didn't know about. So what's new at this winery? What's this tasting room that I've never been to? Or how about this restaurant or an overnight stay? So we're really trying to engage them in a way that they haven't been reached before, and to give them new information and new ideas that hopefully maybe they think, I've been there, but now I got to go back because now there's all this other stuff that I've got to do.
Exactly. That's the beauty of our area is that, you might come here for one specific thing or do one specific thing, but there are so many other things that you can tie into in this area.
Yeah, and it's not just a certain season of the year. It's year round.
Right. I mean, wine is a big draw. That does pull the people here. And I mean, unfortunately, fortunately for us, but it's different than the other wine regions in the state. Is
That's true.
When they come here, within 20 minutes, you could go see Sedona, or you could go to Camp Verde
Absolutely.
and see the fort, and you can
Yeah.
see the ruins. So there's definitely the beauty of that in it.
And our
So,
location makes it perfect.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep, the weather, the environment, everything.
Yes.
So beautiful. Okay, well, I think we're going to go ahead and take a quick break.
All right.
And when we come back, we'll talk a little bit more about Front Burner and our plan with the chamber.
Sounds
okay?
great.
Thanks.
Good.
See us in a minute.
This is Bruce Morrow, Transportation Manager for Cottonwood Area Transit. Remember, we cover the entire Verde Valley and Sedona. Cottonwood Area Transit has you covered wherever you want to ride in the Verde Valley, all day, every day. Take Cottonwood Area Transit through Clarkdale, Verde Village, and from 26 locations in Cottonwood. With Verde Links, it's a quick and easy trip to Sedona every day. Don't forget our connectors to Camp Verde. Visit cottonwoodaz.gov for Cottonwood Area Transit and take a seat. Let's go ride.
There are people who struggle with addiction and homelessness. Sometimes it may feel like there is nothing we can do to help.
But there is. You can make a tax-deductible donation and help those in need transition away from homelessness.
When you give someone a handout, you could actually be supporting an addiction.
A better life starts with better health, especially for those living in the streets.
Support solutions, not addictions. You can make a difference. Visit cottonwoodcares.com.
Welcome back to Rediscover the Verde Valley. Again, I'm Christian Oliva del Rio. I'm your president and CEO for the Cottonwood Chamber of Commerce. And with me again today is Heather Hermen. She's with Front Burner Media. And Heather has been really taking good care of me and the Chamber of Commerce and helping us with our tourism marketing. And tell us a little bit more about Front Burner Media and how many clients are you taking clients? Or, I actually get asked that all the time.
I bet you do.
Yeah.
I'm actually not really taking on any more clients. I really like the destination work that I do. Being able to represent a destination as a whole, especially one that I am right in the middle of.
Right.
It's my passion. It's easy to talk about. It's really easy to sell and promote. So kind of putting myself into just a really small business or a specific business makes it kind of hard.
Yeah.
So I have a really set client list, and I'm really happy with it.
I'm
I
really
love the
happy
fact
that we're on that list.
Yeah, and I love working with destinations
Right.
because you can see the work.
Right, and the passion. I mean, the
yes.
people that are involved in it really care about their communities, care about what
Absolutely.
they have to offer to people, and want to share it. Right.
That is so true.
It is. It's exciting. I was thinking. One of the first things I did when I started working for the chamber, and I don't know if you knew Donna Schmidt was who I took over for, right?
Yeah.
So she worked for at least the next 3 months while I was training under her. But where I was working in, our little building that was on the corner, right, in the visitor center, my desk was right in the middle of the visitor center.
Yes, it was.
And I loved that.
Yeah.
People coming in and asking, what should we do here?
Yeah.
What's cool, and being able to share that information with
Absolutely.
people. The majority of the people that come through the door are in a good mood. They're on
Yes,
vacation.
that's true.
And that helps.
It's hard to have a bad day when you're selling fun.
Right?
People are out there having fun.
I know.
Yeah.
So, I miss that. And every once in a while, the girls will come back because I speak a little bit of French and I understand some Spanish. So when we get somebody from Canada or France that comes through, that's the other exciting thing is you get people from all over the world that come through the door. They'll come back and ask me to come up and talk to them, and give them, and I miss that, it's fun. So
it is fun.
So then when you go to some sort of travel show or media show, what's the pitch? Give me your pitch. Why should I come to the Verde Valley?
Yeah, so what's nice is when we're going and traveling with the Arizona Office of Tourism, we say that we're right in the heart of Arizona, right centrally located.
Right.
And when we mention that, for convenience sake, automatically visitors are attracted to it because the location, proximity to things like you've already mentioned, Prescott, the Grand Canyon, Flagstaff, we're really centrally located. But it's the uniqueness of the terrain and the high desert kind of landscape that we've got with wine country and all the family-friendly activities.
Right.
So it makes it's a very attractive location year-round, and our weather is obviously
pretty consistent, right?
Yeah, and that's a big draw, especially
Sure.
for international visitors, because when they think of Phoenix, they think so hot that they won't be able to go
Right.
outside and enjoy it. But then when we tell them that we have water
Yeah,
in northern
I know.
Arizona, you don't think water when you think the desert.
Right, I know.
So they
Yeah.
get to come and get out on the water and enjoy it. It's a really easy sell, and once you start showing pictures, it's not that hard.
Yeah.
And then they're intrigued and they want to come.
Sure.
And then they're trying to figure out, how do we make it and how long do we stay? And that's when the itinerary building and
Yeah.
just the fun kind
Right,
of takes place.
Right.
Yeah.
That's excellent. So, some of the destinations. So, I think I've dealt with some people that really don't understand the concept of what a destination driver is. Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
Yeah, so when we think of destination drivers, the wine industry would obviously be a destination driver. It's something that attracts people to an area and encourages them to stay longer.
Right.
So it's not just the fact that we have overnight lodging accommodations,
Sure.
restaurants, but Old Town.
Yeah, is
That's
a
a destination driver.
Right.
Because people can come, they can eat,
Right.
they can walk around, they can shop,
Right.
they can spend an entire day there
Yeah.
and a night, and then wake up and enjoy it even more. And then when you add those destination drivers out of Africa,
Right.
it helps extend their stay.
Sure.
And that's our goal. We
Right.
want to turn visitors not into just the day trippers,
Right. We
but we
wanna
want them to be
keep them
overnight
here.
visitors, and we want them to see that it's a place that you don't just come to once.
Right, you come back
to over and
because
over
there's
again.
so many things that you
Absolutely.
can't do it all in one trip.
So
you
true.
want to come back.
And even as locals,
Right.
here we
Yeah.
are. We have the chance to be tourists and visitors
Yes.
in our own backyard.
Yeah.
How many of us have actually gone and done a water to wine tour, or done the zip line out of Africa, or rode
yeah.
the train?
Well, that kind of leads me to the name of this show is Rediscover the Verde Valley, and to be a local tourist. And that's been kind of my vision, was to hopefully share with our viewers out there a lot of
Absolutely.
these wonderful things that we can do. Another great organization that we've been kind of working, and actually this was my first experience with tourism, when I started with the Chamber 12 years ago, can you believe it, was the Sedona Verde Valley Tourism Council.
yes.
That was just starting to
Yep,
to
it was
take
just
off.
taking off, yeah.
Right, and the nice thing about the Sedona Verde Valley Tourism Council is that it incorporates all of the municipalities within the Verde Valley, and on the website is SVVTC, right?
Yes,
.com?
Sedona Verde Valley Tourism Council.
Right,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of great information there about every one of our municipalities and
Absolutely.
the uniqueness of all of us.
Yes.
But again, what ties us all together is the Verde Valley as a whole,
Absolutely.
right?
Yeah.
That was kind of what really made me decide that this was what I wanted to do when I grew up.
Yeah.
Was, for many years prior to that, it seemed like everybody was in their own little
Right.
silos, right?
Yeah.
And this actually exposed me to showing how we all could work together and
Absolutely.
realize that we've got a pretty valuable asset here
Oh, for
that
sure.
we can share with people and
Yep.
and do better with. So
Yeah, and when you think about being a local and getting excited about it,
Right.
that enthusiasm rubs off to the people that we talk to that
Yeah.
live in the same community as us.
Right.
And then you get that new enthusiasm for what's going on in our own backyard.
Right.
And then we talk to our family and friends. No wonder they all want to come and see us and stay with us.
That's excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what are some of the other attractions, destination drivers that we try to focus on when we're pulling people here? Seems like outdoor adventures.
Oh, for
right?
sure. Yes, we've noticed that with our website analytics that we're really skewing popular towards the male audience and in a younger demographic as well,
Right.
like the 24 to 44 age range.
Right.
So that shows us that outdoor recreation is obviously a draw.
Yeah.
And even on our Facebook page, whenever we post something about outdoor attractions and activities,
Right.
that gets the most kind of interaction
Right.
and popularity.
Yeah.
So we know that that's an angle that we can take in the next fiscal year and really pump up the volume on
Right.
what there is to do outside here. There's
just
a lot.
so much. It's
Yeah.
never ending. So that's great. We're going to take another quick break. I
All
know we
right.
could talk about this forever.
I know we could. We could.
We're going to take a quick one, and when we come back, we'll focus a little bit more on that. Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
This is Bruce Morrow, Transportation Manager for Cottonwood Area Transit. Remember, we cover the entire Verde Valley and Sedona. Cottonwood Area Transit has you covered wherever you want to ride in the Verde Valley, all day, every day. Take Cottonwood Area Transit through Clarkdale, Verde Village, and from 26 locations in Cottonwood. With Verde Links, it's a quick and easy trip to Sedona every day. Don't forget our connectors to Camp Verde. Visit cottonwoodaz.gov for Cottonwood Area Transit and take a seat. Let's go ride.
There are people who struggle with addiction and homelessness. Sometimes it may feel like there is nothing we can do to help.
But there is. You can make a tax-deductible donation and help those in need transition away from homelessness.
When you give someone a handout, you could actually be supporting an addiction.
A better life starts with better health, especially for those living in the streets.
Support solutions, not addictions. You can make a difference. Visit cottonwoodcares.com.
Welcome back to Rediscover the Verde Valley. I'm Christian Oliva del Rio, the President and CEO for the Cottonwood Chamber. And with me again for our final segment, Heather Hermen with Front Burner Media. And Heather, you have taken on the challenge of working with the Chamber to develop a marketing plan. And, tell us a little bit more about that. How do we go about it? What are some of the areas we want to focus on?
Sure. You say it's a challenge, and it really is a challenge, but it's an opportunity also.
It is.
It's an exciting opportunity because we know kind of what our weaknesses are, what our strengths are, and we can just build from there.
Yeah.
So we're really we know that the location of the visitor center right now is a bit of a challenge.
Yes.
But we also know that there's an opportunity there to really start drawing some attention to it.
Right.
So from the website, social media, we're really going to start pulling people in that way, as well as in our advertising.
Right.
And then we're going to get very strategic with our advertising to make sure that we're in the right place at the right time.
Yes.
And that we're putting the right information out there and creating a brand that's very cohesive and attractive to not just the wine lovers or the outdoor adventurers.
There's such a wide variety of people. So you were kind of sharing on the demographics a little bit more. So we know that we can target those specific demographics, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, especially on like social media. We know that our audience there is more female driven.
Sure.
And those are typically the decision makers in the household, especially when it comes to vacation planning and what's to do with the family. So we're really going to kind of target them and be very specific about what there is to do.
Right. So, and then the men obviously like the outdoor adventure, plus we have golf, right?
Yes.
Throughout the Verde Valley, some excellent golf courses. So some of the outdoor adventure, we've got the kayaking on the river, right?
Absolutely.
What are some of the other?
ATVs.
Right.
And really fun locations to be out there exploring, but then also hiking.
Right.
You know, there are little water holes that people want to go to.
Sure.
And let's face it, some of our partners kind of off to the east of us, they're a little saturated when it comes to the places that people go and enjoy taking a dip.
Right.
So we know we've got some secret little swimming holes that we can start gearing people towards.
Sure.
And just being out there in nature, birding, that's huge in our area.
Exactly.
It's a giant audience too.
Right.
And
End
they
of
spend
April
money.
is the birding festival, right? And that's a lot of people don't realize. There's a lot of the migration paths that come right through here.
Yeah, it's huge.
It's excellent.
And we know our friends with Old Town Association are working on adding events throughout the year.
Exactly.
So we can work to help
we
promote
just
those
did
also.
golf.
The cornhole.
I got to play.
Yes. You didn't tell me how you did, by the way.
Well, yeah, I didn't. I won one game.
Okay.
And it was the most important game because I was playing against my cousin and my godmother, and I beat them.
That's a good thing then. And hopefully that will become an annual tradition.
It will.
And that'll just get more and more popular.
Pretty exciting, yeah. So what are some of the other hot markets you think in the area here?
So we obviously know our drive market is Arizona. It's our own backyard. We've got more visitors that come from the valley down in Tucson, but we also know there's an opportunity in Southern California.
Right.
But we also know there are direct flights coming in from LA to Prescott.
Yeah.
That's our neighbor, just right down the road. And they've got a really easy access airport there. And they know that the more they can encourage people to extend their trip throughout northern Arizona, the more people will be coming to visit Prescott. So it just makes sense that we would kind of piggyback off of that and really try to draw people in from the LA market.
Sure. Yeah, some of the things we were excited about talking about was that wouldn't it be great, you know, and people fly into Prescott, right? They can do the Whiskey Row and Old Town and all that. Come over the mountain, do the wine trail and everything
Stay
there.
for a
and
couple nights.
Head north, right, and go to do the Grand Canyon. It's all ties right in. Perfect. So our
and then they're
sister
just
cities,
experiencing northern Arizona in a way that they've never done before.
Right.
Yeah.
So the other website that we revamped and are wanting to draw some more attention to is visit cottonwoodaz.org, right? So that website is going to start building with information, calendar events, things that are happening in the area, and drawing people in. What are more of your ideas for that? How do we engage our partners and get them?
Sure, it's our main website, so we use that for all of our destination marketing. So all of our advertising moving forward is going to be using that.
Right.
So we need our partners to make sure that the information we have on there is accurate, up to date.
Right.
If they have any photos that they would like to share with us, content that they would like added, then
because
we
there
need
is a
all
business
of that.
directory on there. There is information for you to be able to get a hold of all these destinations, these wonderful places and things to do in our area, places to sleep, eat, all of that. So,
and the more updated it is, the better.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. So believe it or not, we're actually out of time.
Well, thank you for having me. This has been great.
It's been awesome.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to doing this again with you.
Absolutely.
And we're really going to start drawing attention to our Verde Valley and how our locals and our visitors coming to the area can rediscover it. And
great.
Thank you. Thank
I'm looking
you for
forward
spending
to it.
this time with me.
Thank you, Christian.
Yep. Okay. We'll see you all next month. Thank you.